Good morning, guys. I've got a little fog for you in some cases this morning, although not quite evident here on our Wells Fargo sky camera. We do have fog in parts of the Willamette Valley this morning. Right now, 40 last check at PDX. I mentioned the fog. Here you go. McMinnville right now, quarter-mile visibility in fog. Salem, Eugene, quarter-mile visibility in fairly thick fog. The Southern Valley under a dense fog advisory until about 10 o'clock this morning. Right now, it's 42 in Scappoose, 39 in Westland. Big picture across the state, of course, colder in eastern Oregon right now. Baker City waking up to 18. The plan for today after that morning fog and low cloudiness lifts, enjoy. It's going to be a fantastic Friday with plenty of sunshine late this afternoon and temperatures getting into the mid-50s. Cooler, wetter weather with snow headed to the Cascades for this weekend, setting up for a nice President's Day on the slopes. More on that coming up in just a few minutes.
The Cascades is the operative word in that when you say snow. Yes. All right, Chris, we'll check in with you soon. Thanks. Our top story this half hour, the clock is winding down on mask mandates in Oregon and Washington. We've got about a month left in both states. Maggie Vespa joining us now in the newsroom. Let's start with Washington, Maggie.
Sure, because we do actually have a hard deadline there. March 21st is the new end date for Washington's indoor mask mandate in most settings. We should note Governor Jay Inslee making that announcement at a news conference yesterday, but he noted it won't be universal. Even after March 21st, masks will still be required in some settings, including specifically healthcare and medical facilities, public transit, school buses, also correctional facilities, and any business or local government that wants to keep a requirement in place. You will have to abide by those. Washington's indoor mask mandate went into effect back in August, and it is one of 5 states that still requires them.
And I want to thank Washingtonians who have put us in a position to be able to make this progress. We are in a position to be able to make this progress because people have been careful, have by and large followed our mandates, and have been responsible.
So that's the story with Washington. Over to Oregon now. Of course, another one of those 5 states with an indoor mandate still in place. Officials have said they will revoke Oregon's by March 31st at the latest, and they're basing that call off of hospitalization rates, which peaked about 2 weeks ago and are now declining dramatically. So we'll see when that call gets made. Guys, back to you.
Thank you, Maggie. And starting March 1st, Portland Public Schools says masks will be optional outdoors. That's just one of the plans it announced. School dances, field trips, and other in-person events can also start up again. The district has not announced a decision on indoor masks yet, but the Redmond School District has. This week, the school board voted to allow parents to decide whether their kids mask up in school. The policy starts March 2nd, but the state may not let people go without a mask indoors until the end of March. And if that's the case, the Redmond district would be in violation of Oregon's mandate. Several other districts, including Newburgh, Amity, Yamhill, Carlton, and Canby, also announced plans to make masks optional, but they will wait until the state mandate is gone. And protests over student mask rules have led to Molalla canceling classes today. The district has seen anti-mask protests over the last few days. In a statement to families, officials said the protests just made it difficult to maintain student safety. So no classes today, but after-school activities at the high school will still happen.
In other local news, the former president of the Portland Marathon has been indicted on criminal charges. We're talking about 80-year-old Les Smith, who's accused of stealing money from the marathon for years and putting it in his own personal bank account. So Smith now faces federal charges for wire fraud and tax evasion. He served as the marathon president for 35 years, and KGW first broke news about allegations against him back in 2017. Investigators say he took more than $1 million from the marathon and used the money for all kinds of personal expenses, everything from cars to home remodel projects. And he's also accused of substantially underreporting his income for at least 4 years. Smith is no longer affiliated with the Portland Marathon. In political news this morning, former New York Times columnist Nicholas Kristof is out of the race for Oregon governor.
Yeah, the state Supreme Court ruled he cannot run because he hasn't lived in the state long enough to qualify for the job. In order to be eligible, anyone running for governor must be a state resident for at least 3 years before the election.
Kristof had been living in New York for 20 years and was registered to vote there up until 2020. Kristof did grow up in Oregon and argued he's always been an Oregonian and he's visited his family farm every summer.
Look, it was not an optimal moment. I was disappointed. I got a phone call, but this is not about me. I'm going to be just fine. I'm going to be fine. The people I worry about are those 22,000 kids who are homeless, and they're not going to be fine.
So here's the rub. For the campaign, Kristof raised $2.5 million. He hasn't decided what will happen to the money that they still have on hand. He could give it to another campaign committee or return it to his donors.
The Oregon Racing Commission has voted not to allow gaming machines at the state's only horse racing track. The owner of Grants Pass Downs argued a historic racing rule should have allowed the machines. But the Oregon Department of Justice said the machines would violate the state constitution, which leaves control of gaming to Native American tribes. The commission chairman now says the case will likely go to court.